Well, did you
And
take Tren or did Tren take you?
he took Tren, and he has this quote from the 1970s about him taking his shirt off at the club and all the women looking at him. And he said he had no doubts. Everything that he worked, he succeeded in, and everything was perfect.
Oh, that
Yep.
is on
That's
Tren takes
Trent.
you.
That is
Tren takes you,
Trent.
man.
100%.
Just
100%.
That quote tells me
Yes.
all I need to know.
It's like
should-
all
you
I
guys have
gotta
agreed
do
that
is
it's
walk
French,
in,
and then-
take my shirt off, and I can have anyone because I'm perfect in every way, and nothing can go wrong. That's literally what it feels like to be on trend all the
Yes.
time. Yes, 100%.
Gotcha.
Hey, welcome everyone. This is Gonzo with the Rise 41 podcast and Geeked and Jacked. Joining me today, two of my fellow brethren in the world of muscle building, iron, and nerdery and strange things. Josh, take it away. Give us some intros.
I'm your architect of the intros, Joshua RN. With me tonight, we have Sean. Your girlfriend is younger than me. Molecular.
So true.
And we also have the colonel of the small arms having bucket,
They're
Gonzalo.
tiny. They're tiny.
Hey, like some arms. Come on,
They
let's
look
see some
good.
arms, people.
Yeah,
They
look,
look good.
look at you. Look at you.
I
No,
said,
no,
come on,
Josh.
let's see it. Anybody? Anybody?
Look, Josh is
I got-
catching up.
I
Let's
got-
see.
Come
Let's
on,
see.
you got-
There we go.
Let's see some arms. Let's start with arms.
Yeah, there we go.
You know, we got to take advantage of the fact that Todd's not here right now. because
Yeah,
he's
he's like,
really
man,
are.
show
We
up our
can-
physiques. Like, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
he'll be like, sure,
Top
I'll
chest.
do it. Boom.
Top chest. We'll just do. We'll do this. We'll do this until people leave. I will do
Yeah.
another minute of this, and then they'll get out.
For sure, for sure. So,
wish I went
gents,
to real
how's it
stuff.
going tonight? Everything good?
Yeah,
Uh,
things are good, man.
Yeah. You
Like I
still
said,
working?
my
on-
brain is fried, so I don't, if I say something stupid, you know what's going on.
You
We
know
gotta-
what? It's okay. We're all going to say something stupid at
Yeah,
some
that's the whole
point.
point, like,
That is for sure. Hey,
There he is.
There's the man. The man, the
All
myth, the
right.
legend,
What's
the man with too
Hello.
many titles.
Well,
So,
I'm going to have to give him his intro real quick.
yes.
All righty. Either he's so woke that he's dead to me,
Nice.
or he's a tactical empath. Dr. Duck.
Ah, love it.
That's from the commenters, the tactical empath. That was a good
I
one.
know, I
wrote
like
one
that
down.
too. That
Yeah,
was
I was like,
funny.
ooh, that's nice.
I like that he didn't use the term weaponized. So that's the important part.
No,
Absolutely.
tactical doesn't imply like malice necessarily.
No, I know. That's what I
yeah.
liked about it.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
Man, so how are you doing tonight, Todd? Everything good?
it is now that today was I don't know. I've been super angry this week.
Oh,
And so
man,
like
okay.
I'm just trying to withdraw so I don't bark at anybody. I didn't figure it out till like yesterday. I had to cancel a commercial shoot today because
Okay.
it was in public and I didn't want to like snap at like kids or some shit.
Jeez. Okay, fair enough.
I've got pictures of cute kids with me in them. You want me to send you some of those? Like,
That's,
we've got kitten
I mean-
channels on YouTube.
I managed to figure out how to set up my own surround sound. So I'm a little bit calm about that now.
Okay.
So
That sounds like it's hard to do.
it wasn't easy but I did it. And it's
Uh-huh.
like the way I've got my place laid out is there's the kitchen, then there's a pass through to the dining room, but the dining room table is set up right behind the home theater. So I can sit at my dining room and have my dining room light on my food, but still watch a movie, right?
Right.
So I
Mm.
set up the surround sound in the dining room and
Oh,
the
wow.
subwoofer by the zero gravity massage chair. So I can
Nice.
sit in the massage chair and float and then feel the movie, or I can be eating dinner and like have it still be inside the movie zone.
This is like the most baller shit I've ever heard, Todd.
Yeah, yeah.
What movie did you watch?
Yeah,
I
what did you watch?
I watched drum playthroughs with Austin Archie from Lorna Shore. So that
Okay.
now I'm like in a studio rather than watching a TV. It's
Mm.
better than headphones.
Nice.
And I've got heavies. It's still
Yeah.
better than the headphones.
nice.
Todd, do you play guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. I used to play bass in various metal bands as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What kind of influences did you have?
I was like just like deathcore from 2015, that type of thing.
Okay,
You're
cool.
talking Todd's
That kind of
language.
era. Yeah.
So,
Name
what
some
do you
deathcore
think
bands.
about Carnifex's new stuff compared to their old stuff?
Mm. I've only heard their old stuff. I've never heard.
Check out their
stuff.
new album because they got that Australian chick to do the orchestral stuff, and she's awesome. Her name's Misty or Mystique out of Australia,
Oh, wow.
and she does the orchestral stuff for almost all the deathcore bands now, except for probably Lorna Shore. But a really good example of her stuff is the newest Carnifex one from 2024. Yeah, that one with the purple and green album cover.
Right now.
Yeah.
Nice. So, by the way, Todd, I managed to see Masters of the Universe, the new one, and it was
You liked
actually
it?
entertaining. It was fun.
It was really
fun.
good.
Yeah,
I liked it.
it was like the perfect balance of fun and epic, but doesn't take itself seriously. So it's perfect. You know, they did the humor.
I literally wore that pink shirt on the first date. That's how much I've been trying the Adam thing.
Man, well, and it worked, right? Because you have a girlfriend. So.
It worked. She even said I like the pink. Yeah.
There you go. I mean,
Did
you
you
gotta
tell her
You
be-
wore a pink shirt on the first
wait.
day.
Yeah.
Did you
just
respond?
like
I
Adam
also
wears.
like the pink.
Yeah. No. I didn't. Did not do that.
Was this
no, 'cause-
tactical as well, Todd?
Yeah,
the pink
I
shirt
wore pink
tactical?
intentionally. Yeah, because the Punisher skull, you can see it through it.
That's
So
awesome.
like when it, so like as I move my arm, it like pokes through and then it's hidden. So it's like
Right.
Zartan from G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
I
It's
love
like
that
soft
figure.
on the outside, but like on the inside, it's like, oh man, this guy's a real badass.
Yeah, it's like
at the
the
same
it's
time.
the opposite day, I think, where I'm doing everything I can to make myself look as cuddly as possible.
Well, you have to, right?
Approachable, approachable,
anytime you're a big dude, if you act like too intense, like you just freak people out because you're
Yep.
perceived as like more rude than you actually are. So if
Right.
you're not like, hey, how are you? Like people are like, oh, this guy sucks. You know?
I think it's
Right.
also your potential for violence when you're a large individual. You know, it's
Yeah.
the
For
potential.
example,
Yeah.
we haven't been to dinner in 3 weeks because we went after a leg day. And
Uh-huh.
then she ordered an appetizer and she ordered soup and she ordered an entree. I ordered an entree not knowing it doesn't come with soup or salad or that the appetizer she ordered I'm allergic to. So after 20 minutes of me sitting there with no food, I'm like, hey, what's going on with the swordfish? And she was mad because it was a microaggression. And so at
Right.
45 minutes, I sat there before I was served. She had already had 2 courses. And I was like, I don't understand why they don't just bring me a soup or a salad and charge me for it. This business exists to make money. Like,
Yeah.
you'd think that this isn't a complicated thing. I used to wait tables at this very location of
Mhm.
this chain. And I know we're supposed to upsell.
Right.
That's what we're
Yeah.
supposed to do. If we sell them the steak, you're supposed to sell them the mushrooms. If you should sell them some wine to go with the steak. You know, that kind of shit. That's what you
Sure.
do.
Yeah.
But so it was
Did you
I
ask
want-
for one?
I couldn't without getting in trouble at that point. So I just was like, you know what? I'll just fucking sit here. And because I was drinking Sprite. So that was, I basically wasn't hypo. It was just hungry. So there's no metabolic reason for me to want to eat, except for the stress that I'm going to have to get more food in later. So every minute that I don't eat is an extra, you know, if I go to bed at 2, not at 4, it's because I ate faster.
Right.
And that means I get 2 more hours of sleep. So every minute that someone wastes of my time during the day is sleep I'm losing on the back end.
This is
Gotcha.
like high level optimization, man.
That's
I know,
why
like,
I-
it's
That's
amazing
exactly what
how
I do for my sleep.
yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
why that people don't understand, like, why do you pay for Instacart? I'm like, because it's worth more for the $4 or $5 it takes me to improve this person's life. I get to save about $3,000 in opportunity costs of driving to the store and then getting stuff and then coming back.
Yeah, I don't know
Oh.
why people shop. That doesn't
Have you
make
not
any-
figured
have
out
to
the
be
hack?
making so little money to go to the grocery store.
For sure.
Yeah, the hack in my area is you don't do the $5 extra on Instacart. You click under it where it's like whatever, and you just put the $5 in their tip bucket. So they give them like a $15.
But they do-
tip, and then they run
They do
quick.
hit you pretty hard. Like when I go to Costco and actually like buy all the things I need, it usually runs like $50, $60 cheaper. Like when
Doesn't
I
matter.
actually buy stuff. So they like increase the price of every item every so slightly. So
Sure,
it looks like you're not paying anything, but you actually are. I mean, it's still only like $50, $60,
Yeah.
but
I'm just buying the time.
Well, you gotta watch shit like that, like the tipping screens, which by now it's like a fucking epidemic. Like, there's people like asking for tips for literally ringing you up. It's like you didn't even put that food in a bag, bro, and you're asking me for a tip. You literally are like keying in.
Well, that's my point.
Myself.
If you drive there to get it at carryout, it's no cheaper because you're tipping the girl who's the daughter of the cook. Because if you don't, he'll not make your food right.
That's right. So, that's about it.
Well, make your food right, but extra spit.
Yeah. So it's just like, if I want it done right and I want it done consistently, for example, in theory, you could go and sit at a restaurant after the gym to get sushi and then wait while they slowly, ever so slowly, prepare raw food. And then you eat it, and then you have to drive home. Or while you're driving home, you could have someone deliver the sushi to your house, so it's there when you get there. You're paying the same tip either way.
Yeah. It's just about time management at that point, or time maximization, I guess.
And I have better soy sauce at home. I got tamari sauce.
Tamari sauce is better.
I mean, that's the reason I got the Tesla, so I could like work while I was driving. That's made a huge difference.
The Lincoln lawyer. Man. I just don't need a Lincoln. I'm the Tesla doctor instead of the Lincoln lawyer.
Yeah.
So
it yells at you every once in a while, but I've seen people that get like the bobbleheads.
What's so fucked up is if you put the phone on the steering wheel, completely obscuring your vision, then it's okay.
Yeah.
It's if you have it down here so you can see both, now it gets jealous.
No, it's not okay. Yeah.
Hey, Tesla hacks. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. It was the best thing ever, though, man. I tell you, like, being able to text clients and deal with stuff while I'm driving around, unbelievable.
Yeah, but you're in LA, horrible traffic, right? It's my assumption. Yeah. See, like, for me, the drive, I enjoy driving. My morning drive is great. It's an excuse. My office is 10 minutes away when I go into the office, which is 3 times a week, and it's only 10, 15 minutes away, and I have a sports car that I love driving. So
the issue that I have is I'm a really chill person outside of traffic. When people like cut me off or do stupid stuff, I lose my shit. So the self-driving thing has enabled me to calm down a lot and not have that problem where I want to get out of my car and like lose my shit on somebody.
Right.
I'm like very chill everywhere else in life, but for some reason it's like driving just flips me the wrong way. So
I'll tell you
why.
So
like when they cut me off, it's like they cut the Tesla off. It's fine.
Hang on. Are you driving and watching the drivers in other cars as you're driving, or are you trying to watch the road? Because you should be watching everything.
I don't watch anything. No, I just let it go.
Oh, well, that's why you get upset. Because see, I'm always watching because I can see these idiots look at their head this way. I'm like, they're going this way. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh yeah, no, I'm like head on a swivel when I'm driving. When I'm driving, I'm like aware of everything around me.
Oh, I mean, now that I got the self-driving, I don't pay attention.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it at all.
You don't have to worry about it at all.
But yeah, if you drive your own car, then you need to pay attention.
I don't know. The self-driving almost killed me and Kai at least twice driving for last year. So we got it on camera too. It's just almost killed us. So
wait, what happened?
What happened? You're sure that's not a feature?
It was like, how did that happen? When they narrow the road.
Yeah.
It's like this time the Tesla just didn't notice. So we're going at like 90 miles an hour at like a concrete wall. And it's like, all right. And it fights you. It doesn't want to let you have control.
Yeah, it doesn't want to let go.
So you have to muscle through it, but not over muscle.
Because then you'll turn too much. Yeah.
So you go, and then you just claim control. And it's like, what happened? It's just like, go to sleep, bitch. I got this.
You're bad.
No, I wouldn't do that on the freeway. I wouldn't not pay attention on the freeway, to be clear. But doing 30, whatever.
Well, if you're doing 30, then you're around kids, guys. So maybe pay more attention around 30.
You can still fuck yourself up pretty bad at 20 or 30, though, if you're not careful.
It's really good at picking up people. That's the one thing that
what he's trying to point out is that if you're moving slower, the lag is less significant.
Okay.
True. I mean, you have
that eventually that would have noticed the concrete wall. It just wouldn't have noticed it at time at the velocity it was traveling.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, good point.
I'm glad you
Other things
didn't
is if I
crash.
pull into a parking slot too slick, it'll slam on the brakes hard, and it'll create an accident for no reason. Shit.
It's done that before with me, where it's like it's so hard that it like cranks my neck back. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
I've
I'll
had that
slam in. My
Huh.
face will hit like the visor and shit. I'll like crumple into the steering wheel because it just breaks that hard.
That
I'll
sounds
be
terrible.
pulling the parking spot at like 10 miles an hour or something like that.
No, but it's
And then
good otherwise. It just has
Yeah.
little quirks, but it's pretty good.
Once you
Okay.
learn how to work with it, it's just like any other type of symbiotic relationship.
It's like having a horse or something.
Right, exactly.
You know, like it'll get you where you need to be, but it might not be quite perfect.
Well, hang on,
It's
hang
not
on.
going to figure it all the way out.
How drunk can you get home with the Tesla? Because a horse, you could be drunk and he'll take you home.
You don't have to see
You-
straight.
No.
You could be fentanyl overdosing and be like, take me to the ER now, I'm dying, and it'll fucking do
Right.
it.
As long as you put the camera on top of their camera, right? Put the phone on their camera.
No, but
No,
I mean,
they
if you
don't
get
care.
pulled over, you're fucked, right?
No, I don't think so. You're just like, hey, the ambulance wasn't going to make it. I'm in a 14-minute response time area. I'm taking myself to the ER because I'm overdosing. Do you want to pay me? You can write a ticket to a corpse, or you can follow me and escort me and write me a ticket in the ER while I'm alive.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then they'll be like, all right, follow me, and they'll turn the lights on. I'm not going to just
The
let
best
you
part is
die.
you can be like, well, I am a doctor, so I do know what's happening. I did the same
Anybody
thing. I'm
can
a
say
nurse.
that. Anybody can say that. But yeah, it was like, I got 14 minutes. I ain't going to make it if you ask me any more questions. Your Honor, just fucking pull in front of me and turn your lights on so we can make it. The Tesla's auto driving.
There you go. I still wouldn't trust it for shit, but
It's really
That's
good
just
now.
When you're a spy,
Really, really
Gonzo,
good.
you can't trust those things. Come on.
I can't do it. I work in technology. I work with AI. I don't trust them. I
Hey, a
don't.
zero G massage chair. Can we talk about that for a second? Todd?
Oh yeah,
it's
what's up
cool.
with that? How's that work?
I just bought it and it showed up. And then it's like that they put it, it was like they sell it as they'll install it, it'll work. And if it doesn't, we'll take it away. I'm like, you full of shit. You're not going to do that. So the dude shows up and it's on a pallet and he's like, it's on the grass. And he's like, want to sign for this? I'm like, it's outside. And he's like, yeah. I was like, it needs to be in here. He's like, well, there's only one. He's like, that's not what this says. I was like, I'm not signing shit unless it's inside my apartment. And then he's like, I don't understand. I'm like, understand this. You work for money, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, here's $100. If you put it in the apartment, you can have this. And he's like, okay. So then he managed to fucking get it up the stairs and get it in there. I was like, here you go, bro. I was like, take
It's
the
just a
boxes
matter
with
of
you.
The
Yeah.
right motivation. That's
Well, everybody works for money. It's just that America, they don't have bribes like they do in other countries.
Right.
So like,
That's
when
why
you go to
stuff
an
gets
airport,
done in other countries.
yeah, if you go to an airport in another country, they're like, your bag is over. It's like, okay, is it this much over? And they're like, no,
$20
it's
over?
fine. And then they just put it through.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yep.
and I see other people are like throwing out purses, and I'm just like, stupid Americans. It's
No,
like,
no.
you
We
just
save
have to
all of our
bribe these
corruption money
people.
for politicians.
Yeah, it's like they've never seen that kind of money in a week, and it's nothing to you. You're going to throw out $300 shoes, a $500 this, and a $600 that, rather than giving them a $5 bribe. The fuck's wrong with you? But that's how stupid people are.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
different culture.
yeah, it's totally different.
I love
But-
tipping people. That's like my favorite thing.
Well,
I get a kick out
tipping
of
when
it.
it's earned feels good, right?
earned
When
tip, yeah.
somebody's
I mean, like,
really gone out of their
personally.
way to provide a very good service, I'm super happy to tip because that's my appreciation.
I tip
you know?
everyone, even if they suck ass, because I might have to deal with them again, and they feel entitled.
Well, so I'll tip them the minimum socially acceptable if that happens, because I'm going to be the better person.
No, I
But-
tip them more than they've ever seen, so they feel
Yeah.
like I'm confused about how they feel about me. So if they hated me, now they're kind of like, I still want to wait on this person because this is great.
Yeah, when I used to wait tables, I'd count the checks in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd know exactly how much everybody tipped at the end of the night. And I would know when I was just like doing a bad job. And then when somebody would tip me a lot for doing a bad, like I knew I was doing a bad job, but I got like a 20, 30% tip.
Mhm.
I'd be like, damn, like I was really an asshole. Like, it makes you think about like your life for a sec. You're like, damn, I need to fix that.
Yeah. Jeez. So I just realized as I'm sitting here in my studio, I'm in a basement with a drop ceiling, and I'm seeing a wet area on a tile on top, which is right underneath my shower. And I have already had to 3 years ago tear up the old shower because that happened.
Mm-hmm. Do you own or rent, Gonzo?
I own. So
that's why I rent.
Cost me $5 fucking grand to have that fixed last time.
Don't worry, it won't be $5,000 anymore. It'll be about 15.
Yeah, I had a problem. I called maintenance. They fixed it for free the next day.
Yep.
Yeah,
people put me down for living in an apartment. I'm like, I can write it off.
Like over here, like if you want a mortgage on a place, it's going to cost you like at least $3,000-4,000 more a month than it would just renting the same place.
That's wild.
That's pretty. I mean, it's true in a lot of areas too. Like, it's just cheaper to rent right now.
I pay $1,800 a month in rent, and I have plenty of space.
Yeah, I pay $1,100.
That's pretty.
And then $1,500 for utilities for the year.
Yikes.
Wait, you guys want to guess how much I pay?
I don't want to even know if you're in LA.
Lower than 7, but
lower
still.
than 7. Okay, because 5 is what I usually see from people, but I figure you've been a coach long enough to write that off.
We pay 6 a month here.
All right.
Oh my God!
How
many square feet?
Yeah, how many bedrooms do you have?
1, 2, 3 bedrooms. So we have more space than we need. But
okay, so $6,000 a month would get you like a 10-bedroom house around here.
Yeah, it gets you a full mansion, but it won't get you living right next to the beach. I can walk to the beach from my house.
That's true.
That's true.
You have to go to Savannah or one of these other places. Yeah.
So, want to hear something cool? My February electricity bill was $140.
Mine was $120.
$140.
I have a Tesla. I have a Tesla.
And with the Tesla.
So that's not bad. That's how little electricity I use.
Yeah.
Because obviously the gas bill was through the roof this winter because it was cold. But even if 100% of my electricity bill for 6 months was the Tesla, how is it $140? But my bill for July was $1,400. So it makes me think that it was just, I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but nonetheless,
missed something.
Yeah, but even if
that's dropped the decimal point.
Yeah, even if it's a year, even if it's a whole year, it's only $1,500. It's like for all your electricity, and imagine how much you spend on gas and oil changes.
Yeah, no, that's
now
people forget that.
Oh my God, I feel bad for the dumbasses who go to the superchargers as a main way of charging.
It's really expensive.
Yeah. The how does that work? I'm so behind the times.
You pull up, you pull the thing out, you stick it in your car. It identifies your car and bills your credit card.
Nice.
And you can unplug it and then just drive away. And when
how long does that take to charge, Todd?
Like
30 minutes. It depends on how dead it is, I think, right?
Let's say you're at 20% and you just want to get to 40%, 5 minutes.
Okay.
So that's not bad. You could just throw 5 minutes into it, get home, and then plug it in. You're good.
All right.
I think the more dead it is, the faster it charges, right?
Yeah. Because it's like parking spots. Imagine you had 100 parking spots. Right. That if there's nobody in the parking lot, it's easy to park. But if there's only like 2 spots left, all these cars are going to be driving around trying to find those 2 spots.
Gotcha.
So it's a pain in the ass to charge from 90 to 100. That's going to be hours.
But you just describe electrons and a battery. That's awesome.
He did. Oh, by the way, Todd, you live in where you live, it gets cold, right? Like you guys
in Detroit, yes.
So how does that work with the? Is it bad with the car? And
no, it doesn't give a fuck.
It doesn't. Okay, so it does.
It doesn't give a fuck. Yeah. It doesn't care. And the same thing with like people in ice. They're like, oh, you can't drive it on ice. It's like, I've been driving on ice for 30 years. Right? What do you mean I can't drive on ice? I can drive anything. The cars we had 30 years ago are nothing like your luxury vehicles on now, you little pussies. It's like, I can drive on ice in a Tesla, no problem.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Can I tell you the story of like, let me tell you this. Speaking of driving on ice, you know what's the worst scenario? It is this. You take a Puerto Rican teenager who's never seen
is why I
snow
asked,
or
man.
seen snow once in his life,
He calls it
You
S
put it-
snow.
you make him go to college or to art school in New Jersey where it snows, and he owns a super cheap $1,000 piece of shit rear-wheel drive car, and you make him drive in the snow.
Yeah.
Let
You know
me
how you
tell
can make that story even more brutal?
What?
Put all of your luggage in the hatchback.
Yeah. Which I
Put
didn't
all
happen
your
to
weight
have
in the
that
back
time,
of
but
the
yes, that
vehicle.
would work. That would work.
That's
Like
But
two
yeah.
fat chicks in the back seat. And you-
So check this out. So I sideswiped a mailbox, driving at 5 miles an hour. It's still sideswiped. I killed the mailbox. A cop comes up, and I'm thinking he's helping me, right? I'm thinking like he's helping me like get off the road, make sure I'm okay. He's like, no, sir, I'm here to write you a ticket for that. I'm like, motherfucker, you didn't even check to see if I'm hurt before you write the motherfucking ticket? Seriously?
Nobody- how do you get hurt hitting a mailbox, bro? You're in a car.
It's New Jersey. He didn't give a fuck. Those
No, but I mean, I wouldn't assume you were hurt either. I'd be like, oh,
Well,
no,
we're
but
gonna
he
mail
didn't even
that
ask.
mailbox.
The point being, like, he approached and didn't even ask. He was like, it's like such a perfunctory question where you go, "Hey, I see you're in a small incident. Are you all right?" Even just out of politeness.
I've never met a
Fuck.
polite police officer. I'm sorry.
I have.
I have. I've
they
met
were
very
chicks.
polite police
The
officers.
the female cops are either really aggressive or really nice.
You never want to give a female cop shit because you'll get shot. You have to be
Yes.
so
I've
careful.
never given a female
Yeah.
cop shit. I was
Yeah.
like,
Not again.
You don't
did you
wanna
come
give her
to
an
arrest
excuse.
me? That's how I was like,
Todd's getting
ooh.
excited.
Did you come
Unlike
to
a woman
arrest
in
me?
uniform.
And then they're like giggle and shit, and it's gonna go fine from there on.
Yeah. If you can break the nervous tension.
I haven't been in a car accident since I got my first car. Literally, I get this new Pontiac. My dad bought it for me, and the day that I'm allowed to drive by myself, I got in a 4-car pileup immediately, within 20 minutes of leave. I had no business driving. But ever since then, it's been knock on wood, 15 years. I've been accident free. So
Well, lucky
All right,
you.
so
I actually
real-
totaled Sienna this
So
year. So
You'll like this story. This is the last time I got pulled over. Okay, so I'm in the car with this girl, and her feet are hurting, so I'm taking her to get new shoes. We were on a date. And so she wore heels. And then so I made an illegal left because there was construction, and they made what was a legal turn. Now it's not legal because of construction, whatever. So this cop pulls me over, and it's a girl. So when I roll the window down, I put my arms out of the window so she can see I've got nothing in my hands. So she walks up with the wide berth, and she's like, and we start chatting a little bit. She's like, what's going on? I was like, I have to go get her some shoes. And she's like, oh, is that all that is? And she's like, yeah. I was like, okay, I'll get you out here quick. And then she goes and takes care of it quick. So it was like, she thought it was funny that I made an illegal turn to get some other
To get
woman's
shoes.
shoes.
well, as a gentleman you're in a hurry to fix this problem.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think most of it was because I stuck my hands out the window, because the scariest thing that is for a cop is to approach a car on a traffic stop. That's the most likely chance they're to get shot.
Yeah.
So if you stick your hands out the window, they know you don't have any weapons.
Yeah,
I mean, you
I'll
could
do
have a
that.
weapon, but they can see your hands, especially if in your hands is your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance.
Yeah.
So they
Ooh,
literally
that's
can
another
just
good
take
tip.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
can just
always
take
have
them
those
from you
ready.
and back off.
Yeah.
And they feel safe.
I always have those ready. And I always shut off the car completely, turn the interior lights on so they can see. And
Oh, I don't wanna
immediately
do
I
that.
put my hands in the.
I don't want to give them probable cause or
man, y'all
nothing. I want them to give me a
lucky
ticket.
with
Get
the
the fuck
cop,
out of
I
there.
got nothing.
It's
I got
just
nothing to worry about. And so far, it's served. I've gotten out of so many tickets just by being yes, sir, no, sir.
I don't get tickets. I just
You know?
get frisked and searched, and they toss my car every single time.
Really?
Really?
It's because of the
Never,
tie-dyed
man.
shirt. It's a tie-dyed shirt.
I don't wear tie-dye shirts anymore, bro. Look what I dress. I literally look like a registered
You look
nurse.
pretty professional, Josh.
I am fucking professional when I'm at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, this is in this stuff I get fucked with.
yeah. I never get searched or anything. I'm I may as well be invisible.
They were going through my groceries one time. I was like, it's just fucking oatmeal. I don't get good food, motherfucker.
Yeah.
No donuts
I-
here.
As a middle-aged as a middle-aged Caucasian-looking person, like I'm invisible on the road. Like I never get pulled over, never get searched, never. It's like I don't exist. It's just how
that's
it is.
true. Now that I think, you got a Caucasian look to you, Gonzo.
For sure.
That's good. Oh wow.
Yeah.
I think it's the bald. It might be the head, the hair.
Plus the blue eyes too. You know.
Oh,
so
you got
like,
blue eyes. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. So that's it. But remember, Puerto Ricans, we can look literally like anything. You know, we can be Asian. You know, as long as you're from the island. You know,
Right.
we got everything there.
Yeah, there you go.
We got all kinds of things there. I miss my island. It's been too long. I've got to go back in a few for a vacation. Got to go back there.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, you guys are welcome.
I need to go on a vacation. That's what I need to do.
Yeah. Look, remember, if you ever go to Puerto Rico, it's U.S. territory, dollars. Most people speak English there. They like us. You know, they like American tourists. And it's a short flight, man.
I mean, you're leaving America without leaving America.
Basically. Yeah, basically.
Alaska, pretty close. Change it up.
Well, shit, but I'm not going to the beach there.
I don't know. It's probably
I mean, you can go to watch stuff to see the whales and
shit. Aurora Borealis sounds awesome.
Yeah. From that perspective, they have beautiful wilderness. It's just not a hot Caribbean
Alaska?
beach.
I'm not going to Alaska. There's no
Not to see the lightning, not to see the magnetic storms and stuff.
I'd like to see that.
I don't have a problem with the cold.
You don't have a problem with the cold?
Well, of course you don't.
I would go during winter so that I would what difference does it make? At that point, it's not going to be that. But I'm not going to go during
100 degrees,
summer.
I would guess.
Well, we actually have nice weather. Let's go to Alaska so we can have more winter. Not fuck that. If I'm ever going to go to Alaska, it's going to be when it's cold as shit here.
Yeah.
I
makes
get
no
it.
difference.
It's always cold to sit in Alaska. Go on, head out there, bro.
Yeah, but Michigan can get fucking cold though.
Michigan gets cold. I know. I used to live in Chicago.
Yeah,
we had the same weather.
It's cold as fuck, bro.
I don't miss that shit at all.
Yeah, remember, we have to drive south to find Canada.
Shit. That's true.
That is true. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Once you like live like in LA or San Diego for a long period of time, it's impossible to leave.
You can't live anywhere else, can you?
Because I grew up here, and if I try to go anywhere else, I immediately get seasonal depression.
Like,
really?
I want to blow my brains out. Like it's horrible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, like I
you need the sunlight.
I physically need it. Like,
no, I totally
Dude, that just gave me that's like the funniest thing ever. You could just like marry someone in California and bring them out to Detroit and ruin their life. And that's what happened. And I just realized that's what happened to my dad. He was so happy. Then he was so depressed here. And then when he left and went back to California, he was so happy again.
Yeah.
And it was just that you can't handle the weather here. You have to basically just be a Viking or you're just not going to do it. And he was 100% Viking, but he had never been in a Viking climate. So he just couldn't hack it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have like a little bit of those genetics, but it's just it's what you're used to at the end of the day. Like I'm used to waking up and seeing sunshine every day.
Yeah.
Ocean breeze, like the weather is always, 70 degrees or so. Like,
that makes a huge difference. When I lived in Hamburg in Germany, because it's so far north that it's not morning until like almost 10 in the morning, and then the sun sets like at 3 and shit. That depressed the shit out of me in winter.
You go from cold and now it's like good. So like the first memory I have of actually being good was like at January, I woke up to the sound of birds and I was like, what the fuck is that? Because I didn't know what the hell that was. And I was like, that sounds like birds. Why the fuck are birds out? And it's like, 60 degrees in January instead of
that's it.
-3. I'm like, well, that's cool.
Yeah. The problem with California is people move here that can't afford it and then they live miserably. Yeah. But if you can afford it, it's worth being here. But it's not worth being here if you're going to live in like a studio, with 2 people or something. It's just miserable.
I've had registered nurses leave California because of how expensive everything is.
Yeah, you have to have like a certain level of income to swing it. Otherwise, because if you're living in a box but the weather's nice, it's like, it's not worth it.
But you're still miserable.
Live on the beach. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Well, do they arrest people at the beach for being bums and stuff?
Not if you're on heroin. No.
Wait a minute. So if you're on heroin, you're good to go.
If you're asking if California arrest homeless people?
Like,
Yeah, I mean,
kind of-
I don't know.
That this is a huge political problem. That's a huge political problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we
No,
don't
if
talk
you're like
about it, but-
nodding out on fentanyl and yelling at single women, that are walking their dogs, like you can hang out. It's fine.
Well, this is a new goal for me.
But if you're like a regular dude and you're doing something like on the beach past 12, 1 in the morning, you're going to get, the cops might be, hey man, what's going on? Why are you here? And there's like a guy like nodded out, like standing up, like right next to you.
Yes. And that
I'm
guy's
taking
fine.
care of Bernie.
We know what he's doing. The cops are probably like, no, we know what he's doing. It's fine.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
are you doing?
Yeah.
He's normal. He's supposed to be here. What the fuck are you up to?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it is. Like you go down to Venice Beach, man, and it is like past like 10 p.m. over here. It is basically chaos. Like on the beach. It turns into like Mad
Thunderdome.
Max.
It's
Yeah,
Thunderdome.
it's intense, dude. Yeah, you can't be out there at night. It's really intense. You just got to be really careful. And it used to be like when back in the day, it used to be that you had shoreline Crips that were selling drugs.
Oh.
And they would kind of keep the homeless people from like acting too crazy because they wanted it to be like less chaotic.
Right,
But
right.
now
they want a
all of
stable
that is-
sales environment.
Now all that is
See?
gone. So we don't have the gangsters anymore that kept the homeless people in
Street
check.
club members.
Yeah. And now we just have the homeless people just, basically running around doing whatever they want.
Disenfranchised individuals. How am I doing, Rod?
Disenfranchised.
How am I doing?
Okay. Yeah, it's chaos. It's
Am I using the
Yikes.
correct woke words?
But they don't scare me, and they shouldn't scare many people because they haven't had like protein in 6 months, or like, you know what I mean? Like they have no bone density.
Right.
You don't have to be worried about it. It's just you don't want to like touch them.
It's like a
because
shell of a human.
Yeah.
I'm
Basically.
surprised more people don't just go beat up homeless people because they have no defense mechanism. Just like
What, for
prey.
fun?
Just like sharpening your axe type thing. You know how,
Oh,
like
it's
the
just
samurai
practice.
used to cut down peasants just to make sure their swords were sharp. I'm surprised there
That's
aren't
the same
people that just
thing. Yeah.
I
But
feel like
I'm
that's only
surprised
on
people
House
don't
of
just
Dragon.
beat up some nodding out homeless people just to make sure their kicks are good or something like
Yeah,
that.
like
Right.
I just learned
But
this
you can
new
use a
technique
bag
in
and not have to
jiu-jitsu
travel.
class that you just throw down. Come here, homeless person.
Well, they're on sand. You just told me it's a beach. You could just
Yeah,
run
right.
up and do a sweep kick or run up and do a jump kick and see like you could
That's
do
hilarious.
a double leg takedown and just practice jiu-jitsu moves. Just
Well, yeah,
run
but-
up and just like take down a homeless person, then run away like, and there's like the leprechaun strikes again. And then there's like
God's-
just show up in the dark like, and then just knock
You
him
might have
out
to
and run
cut
away.
this part out.
No.
No, this is fine.
No,
is
it's
called
fine. It's fine.
gold.
You know what? This is
I
the new
don't
career
think they're
move
a
for me. I think I
protected
might want to
class.
do this.
Homeless
Just
people are not a protected class. You can pick on them.
practice dangerous moves on homeless people.
Yeah, can you
I think a
imagine
guy
like
did
going
that
up,
and went to jail.
go up to a homeless person and
They're
go like,
like
look,
bum
I'm gonna
fights.
give you $5 and I'm gonna try and shoot. Okay, I'm
I
gonna
didn't-
practice that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
They're
though?
like,
Hey, look.
do you want
look.
to earn $20? You're like, I don't give blowjobs. No. You just have to stand there and let me do takedowns on you while you're standing on sand.
That's
Like,
it.
is this
Let me
gonna
practice
hurt?
my takedown.
I'm like, not
Yeah.
if you break fall. Here, let's practice your break fall. And you teach them how to fall. And
No,
then
you're on
just
fentanyl.
practice-
Nothing hurts. It's fine. You'll be
No, but
fine.
it's fun because you could do.
I mean, you
I'm
can
the
literally
strongest
break their arm.
painkiller
You
in the
could
world.
stream this shit. Now that I think about it, if you get consent and you pay them for it and you let them just be a jujitsu dummy, I bet you could fucking stream that and make content.
Oh, you would get very quickly.
Okay, he's not
Well,
so woke that he's dead to me
wasn't there-
anymore.
You're paying
We'll cross
them.
that off.
You're hiring them. This is not abuse. You walk up to them. You're like, "Hey, I'll give you
It's
$20.
still abuse.
Think about all the fentanyl you can OD on with this, but you got to let me do takedowns on you in the sand."
It's the caring that you hear in
this
his
was
voice.
a
It
thing
just
like
makes you
10 or
smile.
15 years ago that people would film like bum fights and put it
Yeah,
on
they went
YouTube.
to
Yeah.
jail for that.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a
Oh,
thing?
he did?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
then take back everything I said. I'm not doing anything illegal ever.
Jesus.
I thought if I got consent to do jujitsu on someone, that's cool.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just have to find a teenager that has less rights than a homeless person.
Well, if they signed a waiver,
Well, then I'll have their parents sign the
John's
waiver.
talking himself into
In
this.
LA, it's all these child star parents that are psychopaths. So they probably would let you. They would probably let you do jujitsu on their kid or something.
They let you do more than that. It's just disgusting.
Well, I don't want to do that though. I don't want to do anything gross.
Yeah, that's
immoral. I just want to beat people up and get away with it.
Yeah, nothing immoral. It's just beating up homeless people from finding profits.
Or children with their parents' consent. Yeah.
Yeah. I just like the concept of like, this is an educational purposes. I need to practice my takedowns. Okay.
Well, like, what is a better way to practice a street fight than to take a drunk person and do a double leg takedown on sand where they can't get hurt? This is literally as lifelike as it could get. It's just and nobody's skull gets crushed on concrete if it's sand. So it's the perfect way. And how are you going to have a drunk person simulate being a drunk person? Because sober people can't. The floppy, illogical behavior.
We should all
of a
practice jujitsu while we're drunk, because that's the most likely time we're going to get in a fight, right?
No, I don't drink. Just only on drunk people, because those are the only ones dumb enough to pick a fight. Sober people don't pick fights.
Yeah. So if people are smart enough to like recognize that it's not worth it. 99.
I don't think I've ever picked a fight with anybody, even when I've been blasted.
Yeah.
Right.
I've never picked a fight. I've had to fight, but not picked a fight.
I double dog dared someone to punch me. I'm like, double dog dare you to do it.
Did they?
No, they're not doing it.
No one's gonna fight you.
They don't trust that I'm gonna let them get away with it. No, it's like, I'll double dog dare you. It's like, you won't punch me in the jaw. They're like, no way. I don't want to point. I was like, please, I'll let you get the first hit. Totally go for it. No, it's fine.
No, this is definitely, to be clear, audience, this is all in good fun and absolutely.
Yeah, we're a joke show. They know this.
This is humor, people. Like, if you're really thinking of practicing your jiu-jitsu techniques on the homeless, you need professional help. Okay, just be clear about
this.
That.
This is not medical advice. Do not do it.
Honestly, my medical advice is don't touch homeless people, because they're covered in piss and shit, and it's gonna be gross.
No, that's true. That is absolutely
legit.
True.
I would say don't.
I'm not touching homeless people because they're dirty.
Generically assume they're dirty.
Absolutely.
Well, that might be the method. If you get in a fight, just poop on yourself or something.
No, don't do that.
If you can't win, if you know you're not going to win,
that doesn't work with animals.
But with shit,
that does not work with animals.
No, I mean with humans.
I know, but all the animals that shit themselves as a defense mechanism end up dead. It is not protecting you.
But this is not evolutionary biology. This is just like some guy at a bar is like, hey, I'm going to beat you up. And you're like, wow, this guy is like Conor McGregor. I'm just going to poop on myself.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. There's cameras and there's women, and
I just don't understand why you're
Sir Shits-a-lot forever. You will forever after be known as Sir Shits-a-lot. You will never get a blowjob as long as you do not fucking
your
shit
intro
yourself
next week.
Sean
Sir Shits-a-lot molecular.
Sir Shits-a-lot. Oh my God. Yeah, it's not like you're. It's not like you're an. Like I was saying, it's not like you're an octopus and you just ink,
No, you're not a skunk. You're not just
or a skunk, right?
There's no defense mechanism.
Well, no, let's assume for a moment that you have explosive diarrhea.
No, that's
Jesus
different.
Christ, dude. It's still going to go in your pants, not on him. He's in front of you.
No, but I'm saying you pull the pants down. And you know what I mean?
Todd's not a poop
and
guy.
then he's not going to want to fight you even more, because now you're naked.
Yeah, we don't have to beat up Todd in a fight. We just shit on him.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. Like, if you're the kind of person that gets naked to fight, I'm not fighing you because you are insane.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That might be the method.
That's the guy that could rip your throat out or something.
You should be able to get out of that situation better.
But let's say that you can't. Let's say that the Conor McGregor is trying to fight you, Todd.
Oh shit!
And you have no other choice. You've got diarrhea. Or you're
I guess I'm kicking him in the knee. I don't know.
Yeah, the name of this game is Die or Diarrhea.
No, I guess what I'd do is I'd probably throw a drink on him and then set him on fire.
Wow.
Okay.
I'd rather burn him alive than shit myself.
Yeah, like I said,
Celebrates 151 rum or something like that.
Yeah,
that you can actually set a fire.
You just take a sip, and then breathe into his face with a Bic, and then his
distract him.
face is on fire, and then you punch him in the face, and you
then
run past him, or you run the other way. And if there's a girl that you came with, pick her ass up because she's going to ask questions, and just carry her.
Right.
So then you're on camera for kidnapping, but fuck it. At least otherwise you leave her there, and you're not a gentleman. So
you pick her up and throw her at him as you run away.
You could just swing her. No,
use the woman.
Use the woman. That's a defense. Just use your use your date as a battering ram to knock the flaming douche out of the way while you just run over them to get to cover, and then you can drag her along with you. I'm kidding. Be a gentleman, throw 100 down, pick your girl up, and run after you set his hair on fire.
Yeah. I actually have worked this out with my wife that if we're ever in like a confrontation, she actually knows to get behind me and away and not get involved at all. Because she knows that if she's involved, then I have two things to take care of and I can't do it.
Yeah.
No, I tell mine to like lose her shit and start screaming. And like hitting everybody, and like,
no, you tell her to shit herself, don't you?
The best, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, don't tell her to shit herself though.
Tell her to shit herself. Help her out. Babe, poop. Babe, poop.
It depends on the girl. Like some girls are useful, and they'd actually be able to hold his arms back while you punch him in the face. Other girls, they're just going to draw a gun and start shooting. Other girls are going to scream and not know what to do. Those are the ones you tell run.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
No, she knows.
I've had
she
girls
knows
that have CCWs, and I don't like carrying a gun, so they are the ones who draw and shoot. I'm their support.
Oh my God, your call, babe.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like when the shit hits the fan, she's in charge in certain situations because she's the one with the gun. Yeah.
You got the pink shirt on. You're like, hey, babe, I'm a little scared of this situation. Can you just handle this?
No, I would not. That was no. That's a totally different situation. No, if I'm wearing a pink shirt, that girl's not have a gun. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't be wearing a pink shirt to go out.
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Okay, wait. So what would you wear? Relationship to God.
Heavy metal t-shirt of some sort. For sure.
Like it depends where we're going. I want to be overdressed for where I'm at or extremely underdressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Either or.
Either, you know, those rappers who walk into the fancy restaurant and they're dressed in like a jersey and they look like a total schmuck.
Yep.
But they're with some girl in an evening dress. That actually makes them look even more impressive.
Right. Because you did all this without even trying.
Right.
You know, like with no effort.
I never even thought about that. That is,
yeah. It's a statement.
So if I walk in like a wife beater with this hat on, but everyone else is doing very well, I can't be tipping the bare minimum. I got to be tipping over because I look like an asshole.
That's right.
So in that situation, you have to also be really muted because your outfit's so loud in the environment you're in. On the other hand, if you were to go to some metal concert and you're wearing a 3-piece suit, you also have to be very quiet because people are going to assume you think you're better than everyone and they're going to call you out on it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're going to be the fish out of water. So
unless that's your goal. But but for most part, you just wear one stage up from where you're going to be.
That sounds like an approach.
Do you own a suit?
Yeah, I have suits. I have a walk-in closet with suits, actually. I just don't wear them.
So that's actually you in those videos. That's not AI?
No, it's not AI.
Shit.
Oh, is there a video of you with a suit on top?
There's my commercial for the heart health and the liver one as a dress.
When you do the pills for like heart health and stuff, you should totally wear the doctor's coat. Why the hell not?
Yeah.
Because I think it's like, I don't like that look. I don't like.
You know who does like that look?
I don't know.
Respect.
I think that
respect, dude. Honestly.
Yeah.
For instance, Milo Wolf dropped the funniest video today, I think, where he's doing good mornings in a lab coat. Because he's basically like, I'm most certainly a doctor. That's why I'm wearing this lab coat in a completely
Renaissance periodization paid for his fucking degree. Congratulations.
I was like, So I was just like, this is fucking hysterical. I love that because that's unless you're gonna make fun of people who wear lab coats, you can't wear a lab coat. It's the douchiest thing in the world.
I think it's bizarre being that into like lifting and hypertrophy and just staying natural. Does that bother you?
No, I've said hurtful things before, and I want you to apologize, even though he doesn't know I exist, probably. When I said you have to look the part, and it's hard to take Milo seriously when he doesn't look the part.
He looks better than most of them.
So, and I take that back because he is smart as fuck. And that's not fair if he's natural. It's just, for fuck's sake, dude, if I was making money with my body, why the fuck would you be natural?
Doesn't make any sense. It's like, do you not love this stuff? Like,
if I was
doesn't compute to me.
If I was a chick who did porn, I wouldn't be natural. I'd have fake tits. Like, facts.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether I liked how I looked or not, I'd still get the fake tits because it's a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. It's like, if you're going to talk about building muscle, grow some muscle at all cost. Have some
Show
muscle.
me that you care, right? Show me that you care.
I like. Yeah.
Proof is in the pudding. People are like, Todd's not a good pro. I'm like, I am a pro. I've won 5 national championships. I may not be good compared to my peers who are 10 or 15 years younger than me, but I'm not that bad. All right. And it's so, like, I still have some credibility, even though I'm not like pushing that shit. I'm not like, I've got the best sweep ever, so you should listen to me. I'm like, my sweep kind of sucks, so I had to really analyze the shit out of it. And the improvement that I've gotten is from these techniques. Like,
this is something
approach.
that's so interesting to me that I feel like people often listen to the people that are genetically gifted for advice. And often, like, you want to go to the least genetically gifted guy that's still like a decent size that just had to work really hard for it, because they're going to know what to do.
Because they clearly figured out a way to be successful for that, despite the obstacle of not being naturally gifted. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's like a huge thing. It's like, you don't want to listen to like Dorian for training advice, right? Because like he will look at a dumbbell and grow muscle.
I'll take 200 milligrams.
Dorian Yates is probably a bad example for that. Dorian Yates was the first scientist when it comes to bodybuilding.
But you know what I mean? Like, just in general, I'm not saying like specifically Dorian. I'm just saying like anybody that has built a physique by pure genetics, or not necessarily pure genetics, but assisted by genetics heavily. You don't want to necessarily listen to those guys. You want to listen to the guys that have worked really hard, that don't have super good genetics.
Didn't Lee Haney
they've taken a long time to get where they're at.
Wait, Lee Haney what, Josh?
Lee Haney won the most Olympias, right?
Yes.
Retired at 33.
Yes.
Still looks amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. How does he train?
He trains like the way the scientists are saying now, that you'd go 10, 8, and then 6 to absolute failure. Then you'd move on to the next exercise. You stimulate, you don't annihilate. And that you
stimulate, don't annihilate. Okay.
That's it. It's 10, 8, 6.
Todd, are you a high volume guy?
I'm the amount of volume it fucking takes guy. Yeah. So it's like, if you're growing at 4 sets, then that's all you're doing. Focus your volume towards something that isn't growing. So in theory, every single body part's growing slowly. Like, if I can grow my chest easily with 9 sets, if I do it first, but I'm not trying to grow my chest, then I don't need to do 9 sets first. I could do 9 sets last.
Yeah.
Like, so
we all have those body parts that don't require high volume, right?
Right.
Well, no, I think that there's certain body parts that respond to low volume because you train them so well, you get more out of less sets. Whereas the body parts you don't connect with well, you might need 20, 30 sets, because it's like you're using a Mac 11. I fired 30 bullets and I hit with 2 of them, versus I use a 9mm and I take 3 concentrated shots and hit with all 3 of them.
Yeah.
So with one good body part, like my middle delts, I used to suck at. I used to do 40 sets for middle delts. They wouldn't grow. Right now, I'm so good at feeling my middle delt and activating just the middle delt. I can do 5 sets twice a week and they grow. That's all I got to do. So if I'm going to put more into that, that's something I can't put into triceps or biceps. And those need more volume to grow because I don't feel them as good. Now, my biceps, I'm starting to feel, and I can grow them at about 5 sets twice a week. And so should I put more volume into them? I could, but that's volume I can't put in my triceps or my lats, which are even bigger priorities. So systemic fatigue.
If you're trying to prioritize something, hit it with a lot of volume, frequently. And
but it's still part of the big picture. Whereas for me, the food is the big problem. And even if I do get in the food, I'm losing sleep to get in the food. So I'm robbing one form of recovery mechanism in order to optimize the other recovery mechanism. So the volume is limited simply by the ability to get in the food and the sleep. And that in theory, that infinite volume could be used if infinite amount of calories could be consumed with digestion and an infinite amount of efficiency of sleep could occur.
I found some
infinite
amazing stuff
hormones
to do with
too.
limbo.
Well, that's not a problem. You can just throw money at that shit.
Yeah.
You can buy steroids. You can't buy sleep. You can't buy your room in your intestines.
You can buy sleep.
You can buy sleep. Trust me, I've got sleep.
We figured it out.
Look, yeah, check it out. So I do my 35 sets from like 10 p.m. to like 1 a.m. on like Tuesday. Take the pill, go to sleep, wake up whatever time, do my 16 sets of chest and 6 of forearms, take another pill, go to sleep, wake up for a night shift, boom. So anytime I need to recover, limbo.
Yeah.
And that's like for big stuff. I don't need it for like 10 sets or whatever, but for twice as much or 3 times as much, yeah.
Yeah, you could take it like twice a day if you wanted to, because you don't build any tolerance to it.
Oh,
what are you talking about? This Dave Vigo?
Yeah.
Dave Vigo. Yeah, I'm the jerk that didn't even drink water working out and work out for an hour and a half. So now I drink my what is it called, dirt cheap pre or dirt cheap intra, and I can just work out for 3 or 4 hours. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
water guys.
Yeah. Everyone used to laugh at me about 3-hour workouts. When I made my own intra workouts since 2014, it's just like I didn't understand what people were talking about. Then I worked out, like did one leg day without battle mead, and I was fucking wrecked for like 2 days afterward.
What's in that stuff, Todd?
No, it's just the same shit everyone says they put in there. I just do it. So it's cyclodextrin, EAAs. It's the most cyclodextrin in the world, and any insurer. It's no bullshit carbs. It's just cyclodextrin, and then it's EAAs focused on the leucine, of course. But then I have like 4 glucose disposal agents in there to make sure the carbohydrates go to the muscle.
What do you put in there, GDA wise?
Vandyl sulfate, chromium, RALA. And one other one. I took the cinnamon out because it was
ALA is so underrated as a supplement.
RALA too. It was the active one. And then I also put in the glycersize or the hydroprime. I got one in the intra and the other one in the pre in case someone responds better to one than the other. I didn't want to double down on one brand. And then I also put in taurine so people don't cramp. And I put in creatine in case someone wasn't getting enough. I want to make sure they at least got some during their intra. And I put in, I think, bitter melon to force an anabolic effect even while you're training.
Nice.
Sounds good.
I might have to add creatine. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
You got to take creatine.
Well, I'm going to take creatine, but I'm into my intro, so I just have creatine.
Oh, in your intro.
I'm trying to think how much creatines do I need?
15.
Yeah,
the age-old question.
It's changed a lot over the years. I liked when it was 5 grams a day. Now apparently people are saying it's 10, but I've seen it go from 5 to 30 to 1 to 5 to 10. In the last 20 years or 30 years, the creatine recommendation has been all over the fucking place. I can tell you. 5 is what I put in the pre. Yeah. What, Josh? I'm sorry.
All right, 5 is generally plenty. 10 actually has some sleep enhancement based on various studies. I do believe I trusted the source. It's like Dr. Rhonda Kilpatrick, I think is her name. She's good at this shit.
I know her.
She's a big vitamin D person. Oh yeah, if you've seen Rogan's show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, I don't know if she's been on there recently, but
no, not since COVID. She hasn't been on since COVID.
Okay, no, that's the bummer. But yeah, she's great. So it's like 10 shows some sleep enhancement ability. So I go ahead and take that. But what I meant was like I was putting that much in my intro. But like when it came out, it was like 5 grams. You load it up with grape juice, and that was all bullshit. So it's really you just need 5 grams. But if you eat like a pound of ground beef a day or beef in general, you should have 5 grams in you already. But hey,
do you remember back when everyone thought you had to have it with grape juice? I'm like, why? They're like, it helps
what was
it load.
The deal
I'm
with
like,
that?
why
what was the
grape
like,
juice?
Why? Right?
I missed that entirely.
Sugar.
Wow.
So like, why can't you just use sugar? And they're like,
Yeah.
well, I don't know. You're supposed to use grape juice because it's like, is this like the thing in high school where you had to have orange juice with acid to make it work better?
Right.
And it's like, well, like I never understood what's so fucking magical about this orange juice because it gives me heartburn. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you try to do like 15 milligrams, it will upset your stomach. You got to split it up like 3 times a day.
I think the other thing is if you want to figure out, you could be a creatine non-responder. Like take 5 or 10 grams for like the week. And if you haven't gained like 3 pounds of water, then you're not a responder to it. So just drop the shit.
There was a non-responder in one of the Tren human studies that I read.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, except for
completely
growing muscle.
non-responsive. Interesting.
10 milligrams every other day of Trenbolone Ace, and not a damn thing happened.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
Okay.
Was it
That
man
is
or
weird.
woman?
Schedule.
I believe it was a man.
That is
Yeah.
very weird.
Well, the study's also from like I think the 1973, 1974. So
The microfiche may have been altered.
hit or miss. Yeah, hit or
Yeah.
miss.
And a lot of those studies were self-reported, or
No, this
Because
is a
that's the
real
other-
study.
real
This
study.
is by the guys that developed the original patent in 1969.
okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty legit. But yeah, there was a non-responder. But the interesting thing was Tren retained as much nitrogen or twice as much nitrogen. Basically, at the time, they thought all the other anabolics in the world, they thought there was a limit on nitrogen retention. That like it was just a class property. So whether you take Anavar, testosterone, whatever it was, they're like, you're going to retain about 2.5 grams of nitrogen tops.
Okay.
And that's a class property. You know, you change the diet, and of course, you get more nitrogen retention. All these things change, but they thought it was a class property until Tren came along with this study, and it retained twice as much nitrogen at doses about this was 5 milligrams every other day. So doses basically, 6 to 10 times less than everything else. And that just blew everybody's minds. And they had this big argument at the end of it in a separate discussion about should you even classify these things as hormones?
Right.
They're like they're so powerful that they should be called parahormones. This is just kind of an interesting little historical tidbit.
What is this? I've heard the nitrogen retention bullshit before. How does that equate to anabolism? What does this mean?
I don't know if it directly equates to anabolism. It's just kind of it's an interesting, I guess, an interesting proxy for how much growth it could be causing, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's causing protein expression. Right. It's just a knock-on effect of the androgen signaling.
It makes it sound like to me it's just you're not dumping ammonia from cleaving peptides to make glucose.
Well, it's like the androgen does. The androgen does two things, it does a lot of different things, but one of the things it does is nitrogen retention. One of the things it does is protein expression. So if it's doing a lot of this, then you assume it's doing a lot of this over here.
But isn't nitrogen expression just anti-catabolism? Isn't that what just nitrogen retention really means? It's anti-catabolic.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily, like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean protein expression.
Right.
So it just means
2.5 milligrams of Tren per day can retain twice as much muscle as 600 milligrams of any other anabolic steroid. That's what their findings really showed.
Yeah.
And that's probably through the glucocorticoid inhibition of the nandrolone class more than an androgen signaling effect.
Yeah, could also be that. Yeah. Yeah, but it's interesting. I mean, I guess you can't really basically kill a human after the study's done and weigh their muscle, especially at the time. I mean, you can do it now with an MRI.
Well, you probably could then now. You're not so much.
But yeah, back then it was you're either sacrificing rats and weighing their levator anti-muscle, or you're just going off nitrogen retention with humans, and that's really all they had. I mean, they didn't even have LDL cholesterol at the time.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So yeah.
This is before.
That's a lot of these studies do not establish safety. They had no idea what the hell they were doing. It's bad.
It was the wild time, man. It was the Wild West. Nobody cared.
What are the quotes from the here? I've got the
Awesome.
1 second. I've got the prescribing information from Parabolan here. But one of the quotes from one of these books, which is the prescribing information from France for basically every medication that existed at the time. This is 1996. I have 1975 as well. And inside this book, in the 1975 edition, it says tones and energizes the apathetic, revigorates the elderly.
Yes.
Wow. Revigorates the elderly.
I mean, can you imagine Granny Tren? Tren Ma.
What a euphemism.
Tren Ma and Tren Pa.
So this was like a spa cure that they were giving to old people that had lost their zest for life, essentially.
So they were giving Tren to old people to jazz up their lives, basically?
Yeah.
Wow. Grandpa, like, all of a sudden, like, on trend.
There's the entry there that says Parabolan at the top.
Uh-huh.
And that's all the prescribing information for Parabolan, that whole column down there.
Wow.
Under Parabolan.
Can you take a picture of that? Send it to me on WhatsApp.
Yeah, I've got hundreds of primary sources.
I'd love to read stuff like that.
But I have all of these from every era that the Trenbolone was approved during. So
damn, dude,
that's crazy. That's some crazy shit right there.
Did somebody donate that library, or did you find it? Just like
I found a couple old French doctors that had kept their and then I also know the doping historian Mondenard, who was the Tour de France physician during the time where Trenbolone was approved in 1970. So I've been going back and forth with him. I also had researchers at the Smithsonian dig up the advertisements from the time for me, and cool. I was able. This guy was so old. This French physician that I contacted, he was so old that I couldn't. I was like, hey, can you get in your storage locker and get this out for me? And I'm communicating with him in French on ChatGPT, basically sending him emails back and forth. And he's like, no, I can't move. And I was like, well, like, I'll fly out there. You know, if you want me to fly out there, I'll fly out there and you know, take copies, or if you let me have the originals, I'll take the originals. And then he finally was able, he was like, yeah, no, my son can do it, and I'll just send them to you. So I got all of these from him. And the beautiful thing about these is that they're covered in cigarette ash and coffee stains.
That's so fucking French.
Wow.
Which is quite a picture. This guy, like, he didn't say that he prescribed Trenbolone specifically to anybody ever.
Right.
But the physicians at the time were smoking cigarettes over this thing and potentially prescribing 16-year-old kids Trenbolone.
And 65-year-old women.
By the way, 15 was the age cutoff in 1975.
15?
But if you were 16, you could have Trenbolone.
Wow. Sweet 16, baby. Here you go.
There's a medical need for Trenbolone.
I mean, it's too bad people didn't lift weights or eat right back then, and that would have actually been productive. Right?
Hang on. 1973, people did eat right, and they exercised.
Well, there was a cyclist, Marco Iro, who took Tren, or was he a cyclist? I'm not sure if he was an athlete, an Olympic athlete.
Well, do you take Tren, or does Tren take you?
He took Tren, and he has this quote from the 1970s about him taking his shirt off at the club and all the women looking at him. And he said he had no doubts. Everything that he worked, he succeeded in, and everything was trend.
Oh, that dude is on trend.
That's 100%. That is trend.
100%. Just that quote tells me all I need to know.
It's like, all I gotta do is
in
walk in,
and then
take my shirt off, and I can have anyone because I'm perfect in every way and nothing can go wrong. That's literally what it feels like to be on trend all the time. Yes, 100%. I've never heard it put so well.
I'll give you guys the direct quote. Dr. Mondenard gave this to me, but this is him quoted directly. In 93 and 94, I was doing 3 Parabolan injections a week in cycles every 6 weeks. I got up to 106 kilos at 1.68 meters, not a gram of fat. I felt great. When I went out clubbing to pick up girls, all I had to do was drop the jacket and throw on a tank top, and I could feel every girl's eyes turn to me. I had no doubts about anything. I never tired. You get the feeling that everything you take on is working.
Wow. That's it?
Yeah, that's
perfect.
The quote. Yeah.
The best part about that is all you have to do is take off your hoodie and wear the tank top at the top of the stairs, and security will show up and force you to leave. Yeah. And then every girl sees this. It's like the funniest shit. You get thrown out for having a tank top on. There'd be like people that have gang colors and shit, but you're getting thrown out for having a tank top on.
Street club.
Isn't that incredible that the guys were doing that in 93 and 94?
Yeah.
This was like way before.
I thought you were saying it was the 70s. No, the 90s, fuck yeah. People know they were doing that.
Yeah.
I thought they were talking about the 60s and 70s.
I mean, the 90s was still healthier than the 2000s.
That would have been even more wild if it was in the 70s. Like, whoa. And hell, in the 80s, go to Studio 54 on Tren and other 80s things.
Well, you didn't have Tren back then. No, you didn't. 73, right? When did Tren come out?
70-something.
I'd have to look exactly here. There's so many dates. The first, let me see if I can find the very first patent was a BSM patent out of France. 1963 was when it was.
Oh yeah, definitely. You could definitely have Tren
absolutely.
and Tren and Scarface. That
Oh, yeah.
that could be the thing in the 80s, bro.
Yeah,
Can
and
you
this
imagine?
was essentially approved on the basis of castrated rats.
Yeah.
If
Just
you
gets
want some
better
more
and better.
spicy stuff, yeah.
C'est la
So
vie.
basically, there's no human clinical studies. The French BSM.
They didn't try to one fucking human, and they went to market with it.
No humans. No humans. They went to straight to market. No humans.
They went,
Todd.
it was like, here, give it to your grandma and your son, but we haven't given it to prisoners.
No.
Nobody.
They were
Okay,
confident.
but you guys want some racism?
Sure.
Oh,
Let's go.
So
lay it on me.
what they
It's
did
France.
was because Senegal, like Francophone Africa,
Yeah.
It's
they
horrible.
exported it
God.
to Senegal first
Of course they did.
after the rat approval dossier.
Yeah.
So basically, like the BSM was a combination of a patent and an approval. So you
It's
do it
horrible.
at the same time you submit it, and they did this with many other drugs, by the way.
Oh my
No
God.
human studies, just straight to market, essentially. And then what they would do is they'd watch what would happen to people afterwards, and they weren't really watching. I mean, this is like the thalidomide disaster, Todd, where basically these babies that were malformed. So like the pharmacovigilance programs were horrible, and they would basically just put these drugs straight on market. But they did first export it to Francophone Africa under formal regulatory authorization. in Senegal.
Jesus
Right.
Christ.
So who was worse to Africa, France or Belgium?
Well, King
That's a
Leopold,
tough
savior
call.
of the Congo. I don't know. Either way.
I know, right?
That's a very tough call.
Right.
But
Yeah.
History nerds love this talk.
so let me get this straight. So then
rather than giving it to prisoners because of the Nuremberg thing, they gave it to one of their colonies.
they
They had a different race than themselves.
Yeah.
That's horrible. That's so bad. That's so much
reprehensible,
worse
bro.
than prisoners.
That is
Oh my
very,
God.
very,
That's
And
way
you know why,
worse than
Todd,
prisoners.
you know why I
Yeah.
can't get the studies for the French government? It's because
Dude,
they
that's
are
why.
scared that someone is going to figure all of this information out and make them look bad. And that's exactly what I did.
did.
Yeah.
He already did. Oh my
Which
God,
is-
those
yeah,
poor
like-
people.
Yeah.
So basically, they went from rats. The rats didn't die, so now we're gonna put this in our colony. Let our colonized individuals
Man's
try it
inhumanity,
out,
man
see how they go,
continues.
and then maybe we'll try it for. Oh
Yep.
Jesus!
Yeah. It's dark.
That's-
It's dark.
it's-
That's why I said you want some racism, because it's dark.
Oh my
Yeah, it
God,
is.
that's
That
so
is-
much worse. And that's worse
You know
than
what?
the
You know what?
Tuskegee Airmen thing. That's
Let's
horrible.
put a pin in the racism thing for just 1 second. Let's
Uh-huh.
pretend they were just doing a lot of trend, and that's why they went ahead and released it real quick.
Maybe.
It'll be fine.
Maybe they'll-
Everything's perfect. Don't worry about it. Just
Everything
give
is
it out.
perfect.
Just
This
give it out.
works.
You know
See-
what? I
see
shouldn't
me?
say it's
It
worse
works.
than the Tuskegee. I don't mean
It's
to say
all
it's worse
bad.
than the Tuskegee Airmen thing. I'm saying
Yeah.
it's something
Well,
similar
the
to.
Tuskegee
I don't know
Airmen
which one's worse
were
because I don't know
heroes.
enough about the specifics.
But it's
And
it's in the same.
They're both
it's
bad. You don't have to compare them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're in that same ballpark for sure.
Yeah,
of
that's what I meant to
atrocity.
say.
Of as it's
Yeah, you're
definitely
fine,
is
dude. I
an
understand.
atrocity.
And this
No
is
doubt.
from the by the way, this is from the Senegalese National Archives, from the Journal Officiel de République du Sénégal, which is like a legitimate, like it states hexabolin very clear on there. And they were also
Jesus.
Bayer, Organon, Roche, Ciba. They were all exporting to Francophone Africa, sort of on the same regulatory tier as the company that essentially was selling Trenbolone at the same time.
Unbelievable.
So, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good video. It's got a
Yeah,
good
wow.
no, I
story.
can't wait. I'm really looking forward to you releasing it, man. That's
Yeah.
gonna be. I'll be
I was
watching.
gonna say,
for
when does
sure.
part 1 come out?
Hopefully Wednesday. That's my goal.
Nice.
I have like maybe 40 minutes more to film, which is like 10 hours of filming.
Right.
Maybe,
Yeah.
Maybe 6 to 10 hours of filming, because it's like I was talking about. It's really like 1 to 10 almost, like in terms of like usable video to filming
Yeah.
time. I don't know.
Mhm.
Todd
Yeah.
probably doesn't have that problem, but
No, I
Based on
have
how-
2 full-time editors. I don't
Yeah.
do shit.
Nice. Yeah. So
Rent a
Guys,
keeper play,
so-
Sean. You could have 2 editors, right?
I wish.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, right there, your rent is 3 times mine. If you lived in a shithole, you'd have a full-time editor.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, but then he has to live in a shithole.
Yeah.
I mean, he could literally.
I
just
can't go
live-
outside anyways, though, Todd. It's like I'm just editing video all day, so it may very well make sense.
Yeah, dude. I'll give you a free
It's a
room.
golden prison.
I got 2 bedrooms. You want one?
Yeah.
You can have both
Dude, that
bedrooms. I don't
would
need
be
a bedroom.
fun.
Yeah. So, guys, I'm gonna have to call it for me for tonight because this man does work for. I work for the man. So,
I do
as
too.
always,
I'm gonna go live
Yeah.
for 3 hours and come back to work.
yeah. No, I got kids too. So
I
and a
got
wife.
kids.
You don't
Excuse
have
me?
no wife. You ain't got no wife. Okay. So, more
That's a
importantly,
you problem.
you don't have a redheaded wife.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So-
Not yet.
Yeah, who's actually become an incredibly good shot. So now I'm in real danger. I'm just kidding.
I told you he was a honeypot. He was why? See?
So if she's the incredibly good shot, why does she run in a fight? She should be covering you.
No, if she's armed, then the strategy changes.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
No,
why
she's
I
in,
would
like-
always have. I
She's
would
up in, like, the
always have my
sniper
wife
tower.
armed.
Oh, if she's no, she's a pistol person. She's a
Right.
100% pistol person, and she is fast AF too. So
She's just playing you. She's
I
a
would
sniper for real.
rather the woman I'm with have the gun than me.
Oh yeah.
Because
That's
they're not
probably
gonna
better.
search her.
yeah, and to be fair, the girls probably have better judgment than us in a stressful situation.
That if
So,
yeah, I mean,
male nerds might disagree with that.
maybe, okay, maybe,
Depends
it
on the woman for
depends.
sure.
Depends
Yeah.
on the woman.
yeah.
Some girls are
It's-
going to start the fight just to watch you get in
Get your
there.
ass kicked.
And so if
Yeah.
they have the gun, they're going to be brandishing. Now you
Yeah.
got a real problem.
yeah,
the,
yeah,
the
that's
true.
loudmouths can't have a gun because they brandish.
That's true. That is true. 100%.
Firearm
besides-
safety, guys.
Remember, firearm safety. A firearm does not appear unless you are
You're
in
gonna
fear
use
for
it.
your life and you're going to use it. There's no threatening. There's no brandishing.
There's
There's
no
none of that.
brandishing. Yeah,
No,
if she's
it's
got
like-
the gun, it's so that when you're squaring off, she can
Mhm.
loop around and she can
Yeah.
draw down at the back of their head and says, if you don't get on your knees, you're going to die. And then they lay down and then you run.
That's it.
That's
Yeah.
what she's
You
for. That's
you
why she's
control the
one with
scenario.
gun. Like
yeah,
a
because if you've
velociraptor.
got a firearm on you, you can't throw hands with somebody. You know, you gotta be,
No, for sure.
No,
For
for
sure.
sure.
No. Mm-mm.
So I would rather not have the gun because once you're within 8 feet, the gun's a liability. That's why
Yeah.
the person
Can
with the
be, yeah.
gun circles around. You get
Yeah.
that for basic D&D tactics.
Mhm.
That they get an attack of opportunity if you try to use a ranged thing within 5 feet.
Hey, just watch Collateral.
So your
Just
girl
watch
is like the
scene in alley.
spellcaster in the back. She's
Right.
she's yeah,
Always.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or if she's the angry,
black
violent
maid.
one, she can be the tank and I'll be the healer in the back. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
I'll just be
true.
like the bard who shit talks and gets the person all worked up, and then she'll just fucking claw their eyes out. Yeah.
Todd's just
All right,
back there
boys.
like singing a song on a lute or something.
No, I'd be a different type of bard. I'd be a shit talking bard.
Give
Okay.
up
I would
to
just-
your Witcher.
I'd be like an insult comic. So
All right.
like I would debuff the shit out of them by
There you
like
go.
just
Oh,
ripping
yeah.
on them constantly or taunting them into attacking.
Todd
and
used
drawing
depression.
aggro.
It was very effective.
All right, guys. Well, thank you as always.
Love you.
Like, subscribe. I see that people are actually watching this insanity, so thank you for watching this. Whoever you are out there, ask us questions, give us topics.
Yeah.
We'll discuss anything clearly,
Clearly.
as you can see. So, yeah. And we will talk about anything because that's how we are. So,
Mhm.
all right, guys. You'll have a great evening.
There you go.
Thanks for watching.